Let's be real. You've probably seen it everywhere, on your phone, at your office, maybe even in your kid's school. Mindfulness has exploded into a billion-dollar industry. But is it just another wellness trend, or is there actually some solid science to back it all up? Well, that's what we're here to do. We're going to dig into the real evidence and find out.
So, let's just get right to the heart of it. We're not interested in the hype, the anecdotes, or what some celebrity says. We want to see the cold, hard data, the controlled trials, the evidence. Does this practice actually change our brains in a way we can measure? That's the big question.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to get a clear definition of what we're even talking about. From there, we'll dive into how it can literally boost your brain power and help you break those awful negative thought loops. Then we'll zoom out and see how it's becoming a legit public health tool before we bring it all back home to what this science means for you.
Okay, first things first. Before we can even begin to talk about the evidence, we all need to be on the same page. We need a solid scientific definition. Because this isn't about some vague, fluffy feeling. It's about a very specific practice that you can actually test.
And this is it. This is the definition that scientists and researchers are actually working with. The keywords here are intentional, non-judgmental, and here and now. So what does that mean in plain English? Well, it's basically choosing to pay attention to, say, your breath. And then, when your mind inevitably wanders off to your grocery list, which it will, trust me, you just notice that thought without beating yourself up about it and gently bring your focus right back. That's the practice.
Now here's something really important. To get the most reliable answer possible, we're not just going to look at one random study. No, we're going straight to the top. We're looking at meta-analyses. Think of these as studies of studies. They're the gold standard of evidence because they combine the results from tons of different experiments to give us the clearest, most powerful picture.
And the first major meta-analysis we're going to look at is just massive. It took the data from 111 separate randomized controlled trials. That is an incredible amount of research all pooled together.
And across those 111 trials, they studied almost 10,000 people. Just think about that scale for a second. This isn't some small niche finding. This is a conclusion that's drawn from a huge, diverse pool of data, and that gives the results some serious weight.
So you've got data from nearly 10,000 people. The big question is, what did the scientists find? What are the specific, measurable changes that are actually happening inside our brains when we practice this stuff?
So the results are pretty fascinating because it's not a simple, yes, it works. The science is nuanced. What they found was that mindfulness practices led to small but meaningful improvements in things like your overall cognition, your working memory, and your ability to sustain attention, to focus. But, and this is just as important, they found no real impact on other things, like how fast your brain processes information. So it shows us it's not some magic bullet for everything, but more like a targeted tool for specific mental skills.
Okay, so boosting your focus is great, but that's only half the story, right? A lot of people explore mindfulness to deal with stress, with anxiety, with those really difficult emotions. So what does the science say about its effect on our mental habits, especially the negative ones?
Let's talk about something called rumination. You know that feeling when your brain gets stuck on a worry or a mistake or some negative thought and it just plays it on a loop over and over and over again? It's like a mental hamster wheel. Well, that's rumination, and it's a huge factor in things like anxiety and depression.
So, another really powerful meta-analysis decided to zero in on this exact problem. It looked at 29 trials of a specific program called mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, or MBCT, which was literally designed to help people break free from that destructive pattern.
And the results here were, wow, they were really striking. The analysis found that MBCT was significantly more effective at reducing these negative thought loops than standard care, more effective than medication. And get this, even more effective than cognitive behavioral therapy, which is one of the leading psychological treatments out there. Pretty incredible.
And the benefits didn't even stop there. The research also showed that MBCT helped reduce the actual symptoms of depression and anxiety. It boosted self-compassion, and it enhanced this crucial skill they call decentering. That's basically the ability to step back and just observe your thoughts like clouds passing in the sky, instead of getting swept up in the storm.
Okay, this is all fascinating. We've got strong evidence that these techniques can sharpen our minds and break negative patterns. But what do we do with that information? How does this move out of the laboratory and into our actual communities?
This quote from the Mindfulness Initiative, a policy group in the UK, just nails it. Because mindfulness is a skill that anyone can learn, it's seen as this non-stigmatizing and accessible way to improve public mental health on a huge scale.
So now, based on this solid evidence, policymakers are actually pushing to integrate mindfulness right into the systems that support us. Just imagine it being prescribed by your family doctor, or offered in your workplace to help prevent burnout, or used as a tool to help people manage everything from chronic pain to addiction. It's a really big shift.
So we have journeyed from the nitty-gritty of cognitive function all the way up to broad public health policy. After looking at all this evidence, what are the key things for you to take away from all this?
Here's the bottom line. The science is clear. Mindfulness isn't just some vague, feel-good idea. It's a real cognitive enhancer that can sharpen specific mental skills. It is a proven pattern breaker that can help us get unstuck from negative thinking. And maybe the most powerful part? It's an internal resource. It's a skill that once you learn it, you have with you for life.
And all of this leaves us with one last big question. We all accept that physical training is just essential for a healthy body, right? Well, with all of this evidence piling up, isn't it time we started thinking about mental training in the exact same way?